And today we're going to be talking about signs that a friend secretly hates and envies you. Okay. And the reason why I wanted to make this for the women is because, first of all, women women encounter more hate and and jealousy from their friends than men do. Why? Because women is kind of like, women get, how can I say this? Women are more competitive for attention than men are. Men, we're used to not getting a lot of attention. Women, they're used to getting a lot of attention. So that when the woman feels like her attention is being taken away because of a friend who might be prettier than her, who might have a better boyfriend than her, they're gonna get jealous, right? And the problem with women is that women have a sense of narcissism that they love their body. Women are just natural narcissists. They're in love with their bodies, right? And as a result, you could be a little self-absorbed, and you may not know how you might be coming across to your friends. You see, and that's what happens a lot, especially when you're a young woman, right? You don't notice that your happiness could cause people to be jealous. Like, you don't notice that people could hate you for the good things in your life. So you fail to damp down how good your life is, and you create people who hate you, right? So we're gonna be talking about how to avoid, how to avoid jealousy and hate, and how to decode it. Okay. The thing is this: is that you gotta know people's insecurity. Read people, become aware of people's insecurity. That's honestly, you want to pay attention to that, right? Because sometimes when you're not aware of people's insecurity, and then you talk about the things that are great in your life, and that person feels insecure, you're gonna make them feel insecure, and people don't like that. Okay. So my main thing when it comes to avoiding jealousy is to damp down your success. Honest to God, damp down your success. Talk about how something bad is happening, and you're gonna be able to damp down what you can avoid. But then you have jealousy that's unavoidable, and the reason why that is because you have people who come into your life just to hurt you. You have people who literally come into your life just to hurt you, because because secretly they admire you, or they may want the charisma or the looks that you have, but also they want to destroy you. And women encounter more fake friends than guys do. Like, because a lot of women, they become friends because they're hot, or because we're the same hotness and stuff like that. And in that, there's a competitive nature that's not really genuine friendship. So let's decode the signs that somebody doesn't like you, okay? So first of all, let me tell you something about people who don't like you. People don't usually just dislike you all of a sudden, right? They don't just, the moment you see their negative emotion does not mean that was the moment they hated you. They usually send signals of dislike prior to the burst of emotions. Like, it's kind of crazy really thinking about it in my life, man. Like, they can't really be directly aggressive with you in front of your friends, right? Because that's negative. So they hide it, but they do give off signs, because remember, it takes effort to hide emotion. So it isn't whether or not you'll see them. It's not whether or not you can see them. You see what I'm saying? So you got to trust your instincts and learn how to confront them. But we're going to talk about this, okay? So these are the signs of disliking somebody who doesn't like you, right? Because you got to realize they will hide it. And I promise you, you're going to see this. You're going to fucking see this, okay? The first sign is of the squinting of the eyes, right? Like you'll be randomly chilling, talking to your friends, and then you'll notice somebody piercing look at you, right? That friend who doesn't like you looking at you like this, right? And then when you look at them, they're like right, they'll try to hide it, but secretly they're like, a motherfucker, right? So the squinting of the eyes, right? That's one, and you could feel them looking at you, and then when you look at them, they'll put a smile on, right? Another one is a pursing, the pursing of the lips, like, right? So for example, let's say you randomly meet a friend, right? Oh, even better, you randomly run into somebody who's your friend. What you'll notice is, hey, like, hey, oh, hey, or like when you say something and they're like, okay, they'll say like, hey, are you coming to the party? And then you're like, yeah, I'm coming to the party. Oh, sure, okay, right? That says fuck, right? Another thing is the feet and the torso are not facing towards you. So you're talking to them and they're like, yeah, like they're just facing away from you, right? Another thing is when they're talking to you, they have their arms folded, right, like this, right? And body is tense and stuff like that. But the thing is a lot of the times you're not going to see all of this together. Like, this equals anger. right? But when they hide it, only one comes out. You see, they'll hide it like that, you know. But if you know how to read the signs, you'll be able to tell, right? Another thing is that micro expressions. I studied this. His name is Paul Ekman. I remember this. I took a course on how to tell micro expressions, right? For example, this is contempt, right? You'll be like, for example, I'll be like, man, my mom died, right? Like, or like, fuck, man, I lost my job, or like, or signs of anger is a puckering of the lips, like, right? So for example, like when somebody loses, when I lose the game, I'm like, fuck, right? But then if it's a micro expression, it's more like, hey, right? Or like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Or like, let me see, like sadness is kind of like they were like, yo, dude, like your girlfriend broke up with you. I don't care, man. I don't care. I don't care, man. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? Like the micro expressions, right? Look them up. Like they're real, but they come quickly, right? They come quickly, right? So you want to learn to read them. If there's actually a course on that on how to read micro expressions, right? Um, Awareness of feeling, it leaks. Okay, unaware of feelings and they leak through. First thing you notice is yourself when you go leak emotion, right? So also what you want to do is when you okay. Another thing is like notice when you dislike people. Okay, not just notice. Like pay attention when you don't like someone, right? Pay attention, right? When you don't like someone, notice how you behave. Like literally pay attention. Okay, I tend to do this. I tend to do that. And I tend to do that. Literally, when you do not like someone, pay attention how that feels. Because that is an indication of what other people might do. You see what I'm saying? Notice how your conversation is different, right? Notice how quick you talk, how fast you respond, right? Just notice your body language. That is unconscious. Most people do the same shit you do, all right? That will literally, and so when you do that, when you know how this like looks like in you, I can promise you, when you see it in somebody else, you'll be able to tell. It's almost like when a pothead, I'm a pothead. I know a pothead when I see a pothead. Okay, I know one. Okay, so yeah, that's how it is, right? So another micro expression is like the rolling of the eyes, like rolling of the eyes, or like I said, when you approach someone suddenly, they'll like, and then they'll go back to normal and stuff like that. You got to realize that a lot of people don't like you, and you just don't notice it, right? Another thing is like, let's say you're meeting somebody or a group of people, right? And you walk in, right? Sometimes when a group doesn't like you, they'll just be quiet. Like you walk in and they're just like, oh, fuck, he's in here, right? Sudden silence, right? When you enter a room and everyone is quiet or saying something that someone insecure, and they make smile to hide an emotion, right? So it's kind of like, you go in and they're all quiet, right? I mean, most likely they were talking about you, all right? Or most likely they're like, fuck, he's here, right? Another thing is like praising with words but hostile body language, like oh, good for you, man, good for you, all right, good for you. That's what I'm talking about, right? Or like, oh, dude, I just gained a job. Oh, good for you, good for you, good for you, right? It's like they never really praise you, and their body language is like negative and stuff like that, right? The reason why they do that is because they need to release those negative emotions. They're there, right? So they need to feel some relief. So from having to be nice and praising, so they gotta show some hostility. It's crazy how that works. Like they'll try to hide it, but the body will never hide it, right? They may say things, but their body language is positive tone, right? It's positive in tone. So it's kind of like, there's also the opposite where if somebody can say something hateful and their body language is positive, right? Right. So it's kind of like, oh, yo, look at you, motherfucker, right? Actually, no, that's not it. That's not it. Ignore that. Ignore that part. Right. Right. Another thing is, for example, let's say that you want to find out somebody's jealous of you, right? Tell them a good news about you. In fact, lie about the good news, right? Say like, yo, dude, man, like, I just got a TV show on a TV, and they're like, oh, good for you, man. Good for you. Good for you. I remember one time I told a friend of mine about my YouTube channel, right? Like I was just mentioning it, and he was like somewhere else, and I was telling somebody else. It was like, I think it was many. It was like, I think I was in Boston. I was with a friend of mine, right? And I could tell that my friend, when I said about my YouTube channel, my friend was like, and then like just like, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's some anger brewing right there, right? But I was aware of it, right? And then all of a sudden he was nice to me, right? But you gotta realize, just because he was nice, you gotta remember, that says something. Like they're suppressing their anger, so they'll be passive aggressive with you, right? So that's one thing, right? Another thing is like the fake smiles, right? Detecting. So no, let me keep going, right? So you tell them good news and they look, right? Another thing is tell them some bad news about you, something bad that happened, right? My boyfriend just broke up with me, right? And then they're like, oh no, right? It's kind of like, oh no, what happened, girl? Right. So it's kind of like when something bad happens, those secret, but the thing is, you want to do it strategically, right? You want to tell them something bad and see the reaction, right? Say, hey, I just lost something, and you just look just look, bro. Let me tell you something. If somebody hates you, they can't help it. It's gonna come out. You're gonna sense if they were like this, and then you told them about the fact that you lost your job. They were like, "Oh, really? Oh, wow!" All of a sudden, they want to help you out and shit, right? That's a sign that somebody doesn't like you, right? And another thing, and another way to do that is mirror them, mirror their body language, right? When you're talking to somebody, mirror them, literally mirror them, right? Mirror the way they're talking, mirror the way they're moving, mirror the way they're breathing, and ask yourself, what would I feel if I was acting like this? And what's funny about it is that your body will tell you something. Your body will give you almost an accurate feeling of how that person feels. You have mirror neurons. Your mirror neurons are meant to be to feel, to sense, not feel, to sense what other people might feel. You see what I'm saying? What other ways? Let me see, because I wrote a lot of notes on this, right? Another thing is I try your best to look for these signs early on, right? God in heaven have mercy. You got to find this early because you don't want a friend who's an enemy in your social circle, because what they will begin to do is talk bad about you, and you'll notice they're talking bad about you because all of your friends all of a sudden start acting different around you. All of your friends all of a sudden they stop inviting you, and the reason might be is because somebody's talking shit about you behind your back, right? And people who are jealous of you, man, like they have long memories and they talk a lot, right? So something that you want to do is notice, does this person talk about a lot of other people around you? Do they gossip? Do they say negative things to people about people who's in your life? Do you notice that they act fake, right? Do they talk about hating somebody, and then when they see them, they interact with them, they invite them out and stuff like that? Most likely they do the same thing to you, okay? And the best way to do this is, if you want to test if somebody is antagonist towards you, is simply notice how they treat other people around you, right? So it's kind of like they may dislike you, and so their energy towards you might be very, very low. But all of a sudden, when they meet somebody they like, you'll notice they all of a sudden are more happy. But then when they talk to you, they're like, all down, right? That's a sign that that person does not like you, right? With you, they're fucking quiet as a brick. With somebody else, they light up. They don't like you, motherfucker, okay? Just notice a contrast. It's kind of like, I have a friend of mine, right? My friend Marvin, right? He likes me. It's not like he hates me. He likes me, right? But I could tell the relationship he has with his cousin is different, because they laugh. In fact, it's actually funny watching them. I love watching my friend Marvin and his cousin talk, because they're funny. Like, the way they interact is funny, right? But that tells me they have a way different relationship than he has with me. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's family. But the point is that tells you something that he cannot hide, right? He cannot hide that, right? As much as he tries, there's a huge difference between how he interacts with his cousin and everyone else. Because him and his cousins are really good friends, right? And you can't deny that. You see what I'm saying? You can't tell me that you like me as much as you like your cousin, right? So that's the point, is that the way other people treat other people, and then notice how they treat you, it's one of the best indicators that a person likes you or dislikes you. It's kind of incredible. You can't hide that. You as much as you try, you can't hide that shit. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. All right, ladies, this is how you find out, man. All right, ladies, peace out. This is Alex. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15.
16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.